All right, in this video, I'm going to be going over the test review questions for the inheritance test. Hopefully you've tried these already on Schoology, right? And these are just to help you if you get stuck, right? So, I don't know. There'll be the little puzzle piece. I can display it quick here. So these are the review questions. It'll look a little different because I'm still building stuff right now, but hopefully you've done these review questions, right? And then this video is just to help with any that you got wrong. Okay, so you can kind of skip around, right? If you got like number one, right, you don't have to watch this part. Just kind of jump around the YouTube video till you find the ones that you got incorrect or are unsure. Maybe you got it right, but you guessed. So click around to the ones you need. So anyways, number one, baseball is going to be a subclass of sport, right? So again, baseball is going to like inherit from sport. So baseball is a subclass, and so baseball needs to extend sport. So you do public class baseball and then do extend sport, and that'll make it extend. And then all the stuff from sport will flow down into baseball, all the methods and data, right? And again, I don't know why the heck they draw the arrow going up because technically the information goes down, but I don't know. Maybe I'll write the AP people and tell them I think they're stupid. They'd probably appreciate that. Okay, so here is example. This is number two. And again, I can't get this all to fit, so hopefully you've tried them already, but it's saying true or false, class B overwrote the display stuff method. So we've got class A, class B, and I think this would be a correct overwrite because we extend. That's good that they did that. And then this matches, this signature matches exactly this one. So it'll have correctly overwritten display stuff. It'll change the functionality of display stuff in the subclass. So this one would be true. That's a correct overwrite. Okay, so this one then says same two classes, right? Display stuff is foo and bar, depending on if it's class A or class B. And so we do class A object, but it's a new class B, and then we call display stuff. What will we get? All right, foo or bar. Okay, and so the answer to this is because it's a new class B, even though this type on this side is A, if it is a B object here, it's going to run the overwritten method. You're going to run the one down in B. So this one's going to display just the bar part, right? It won't run the method up in the superclass because it's a B object, so it'll run the one down here. Okay, 4. All right, so we're going to make a subclass of color. So color has 3 int variables representing how much red, blue, and green. And this is actually how I think computers do colors is RBG values. Okay, and then we're going to make a bright color that calls the color constructor and does nothing else. Okay, so here's the constructor. So which one of these do you think would be the right choice? Oh, you've already tried this. So blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we'd need the super word, and there's nothing being passed in. So like this one is out because it passes stuff in. All right, and then you don't want to call just straight super. That's not going to work. No, actually that would work. That's what we want to do. I want to call super with nothing in it. That'll call the constructor. Okay, and then super.color, we don't want to do that. That'd be trying to call a color method, and same thing with create. That would try to call a create method. So we want to do just like this. So before I confuse myself completely here, I did put this at the end that if you are in the subclass, the way they call the constructor in the subclass is super and then input parameters. So if you have no input parameters, it'll look like just like we did on this question. All right, versus if you have input parameters, you do super and then put whatever parameters you need for the superclass constructor. Okay, and then if you want to do a method, right? If we're in the subclass and we want to do a method, you do super dot method name. Okay, and again, the method might not take in anything, might just return the balance, or it might take in an amount like you want to deposit or something. So that's what it looked like to call. That's the difference between calling the constructor and calling a method from a subclass. Okay, question 5, same thing. We have the color class, right? But then we have a different question here. Create an instance of the object, new color. There's no way to access the green, right? Because green is a private variable. So what is the correct way to gain access? Okay, so you don't want to make it public. That's generally not the convention. So you want to make a get green method, okay, and we want to make it public, so we don't want C here, and we want to make it in the color class. Oh, and so the only thing that's wrong with D is it's returning an int, not void. So we'd want to make it public int get green and put it in the color class. So again, normally you make these variables private, but you make getter and setter methods that are public that allow them to get and set those variables um, in outside of the class, basically. Okay, same thing, 6 color class. In the main of another class, we want to create an instance of color like this, assuming that all the get and set methods have been created. What is the correct code for changing the blue value? All right. So this is accessing the variable name, not through a method. And since a variable is private, we can't do that. So we definitely don't want to get it. We want to set it. So B is looking pretty good so far. And we don't want to construct it, right? We just want to set the color. So we've already constructed it here, right? So we don't need to do this. This looks like trying to construct, but we've already constructed it. So we just call the set blue method right there. Okay, and that is our answer to 6. All right, 7. Again, this will show up a little better on Schoology if you're having a hard time seeing it here. So hopefully you've had a chance to try it already. So we've got a vehicle class, and then we've got a land vehicle, which extends vehicle because it's a specific type of land vehicle. And then we've got auto, which extends land vehicle. So the hierarchy would look like this. Vehicles up top, then land vehicle, then auto. Okay, so what I want to do is actually pass the type variable all the way up to vehicle, right? So we're down in auto, but we want to send it up to land vehicle and then all the way up to vehicle so that it sets this string type way up there in that parent class. Okay, and so it's asking like, because you have to go up 2 levels. It's like, what do you got to do? And so the actual answer is you still just do this, right? If I call super type, that's going to call this constructor right here in land vehicle, pass in the type, but then that's going to call super again, and then that's going to send it up here to this one. Okay, so you don't have to do any like magic super thing. Just do super, take it up 1 more level, and then land vehicle takes it from there. All right, so letter A, best choice on this one. Okay, so motorcycle is going to extend vehicle. All right, and we have the constructor here. All right, and so what does this code do? It invokes the constructor of the vehicle class. I think that's true right there. From within the constructor of motorcycle, I think that is a true statement. Invokes the constructor of motorcycle class from within the constructor vehicle. That's backwards. It invokes a private method of the vehicle class. That's not true. Because if it was a method, it would be dot. It would be super dot something, and this code will not compile. Also not true, I think, as long as we have a constructor at the next level that takes in this int, which actually, I don't know. So if this is related to the last one, vehicle here, so look at back at vehicle, vehicle takes in just a string. So let me see. I don't think it's going to work. So actually, I think the better answer here is D, right? Assuming that we're using the same classes from the previous questions and stuff, then we have to pass in a string here, not an int. So I think this code would not compile, not work. Okay, so which of the following is true regarding inheritance? So when creating a subclass, all the methods of the superclass must be overwritten. That's not true. You can keep them from the superclass if you want. When creating a subclass, no method of the superclass, that's not true. You can overwrite as many as you want. A superclass can force a programmer to overwrite a method from subclass created from it. Oh, we didn't talk about this one actually. This is from what used to be on the AP test. So yeah, if you make it the method, if you make the method a abstract method, then it forces the subclass to do it. So sorry, this one's probably not going to make a lot of sense. But yeah, you can force it to overwrite by making it an abstract method. Sorry, that was on something that used to be on the AP test. I forgot to take it out. All right, last one here. So we're making an employee which is a new programmer, and then we're going to call toString. Assume that the programmer class inherits from employee, so it is a subclass. All right, it is a specific type of employee, and neither class has the toString method. What's going to happen? So I think this looks like the best choice. So toString, because object sits atop everything, so it'll do this toString from object, kind of the default one. Yeah, so this not true, because neither of them, right, neither of them have that. Yeah, so no, that's not right. We don't have a string class at all. We have an employee or programmer object here. And it will compile okay because toString again will be up an object. So every object you create has a toString method in some form or another, whether it gets overwritten or not. It'll always have at least toString that's in the object class because again, object sits on top of everything. Right? So the employee is a type of object, right, in the hierarchy. I could draw that out for you real quick if you want. Right, so if we call toString on a programmer object and it doesn't have toString, it's going to look for toString up here in employee, and if employee doesn't have it, then it's going to come up here and use the default one that's built into object, right? So since object sits atop everything, every single class has a toString method, whether you ever implement it or not at the lower levels. Thanks for watching.